Hello, it's David. Welcome. We are live at the World Sabbath 20th Anniversary Interfaith Experience. 2 years ago, it was at Temple Bethel where I had my bar mitzvah. It was, as said, one of the greatest honors of my life to host all these various traditions in the synagogue that initiated me as a Jew. We had Jains and Baha'i and Zoroastrians and different forms of Christianity, Judaism, Islam. Last year was in the Anglican Church Christchurch Cranbrook, which is an Anglican church in Bloomfield Hills. And this year it's in Dearborn, Michigan, the Islamic House of Wisdom. Imam Elahi, who's been on my YouTube page multiple times. I had my traditional Hasidic dress for today, and looking forward to this program. It's going to start any minute. Good program coming on. Let's see. We're going to start out with. It's going to start in a few.
Are you part of the program?
Just a guest.
Okay. Sounds good. We're looking for somebody else.
Oh, thank you.
So, hello.
So we start out in a second with the opening, the sound of the shofar. And there's going to be Islamic call to prayer, and then blowing of the conch shell, and invocation from the imam of this mosque. Then we have Christian tradition. We have Mormons, Zoroastrian. Looking forward to that. I'm glad we have the Zoroastrians participating. We have the Amma Center saying some of the prayers. My friends from the Amma Center are part of their chanting group. Well, I'm not officially participating as clergy in this event. In the Baha'i tradition and Church of Latter-day Saints. The Jain tradition. It was a great honor of mine that the Jains came 2 years ago to the synagogue where I had my bar mitzvah. Then they present the Peace Award to actually a friend of mine, Jewish musician, Steve Clapper, and the group that he's part of, Song and Spirit. They'll be performing a few songs. In the Temple Bethel, the beautiful large Reform synagogue, is where I was originally initiated into Judaism. Then there'll be the Interfaith Pledge, the commitment to peace. All the clergy are going to get up and say, I believe that we are called to lift each other up, that we are stronger standing together, that our differences are a blessing, that empathy and love reveal the path to peace, and that justice will prevail because each of us is beloved. Therefore, I commit to answer intolerance with goodwill, live by faith and hope, not fear, seek understanding and friendship whenever I can, stand with those facing prejudice and injustice, meet resistance with resilience as I build a beloved community each day. So I believe all the clergy will stand together and say that. And then there'll be a responsive prayer. They have a banner. They sing the song, We Are the Children of Peace. We are children of the world. Great song. Then Gail Katz from Temple Bethel, closing remarks and concluding song. So, here we have the clergy. Got Imam Elahi from this temple, Islamic House of Wisdom. At the Cathedral, St. Paul. Buddhist Meditation Center, First Baptist, Spirit Institute for Peace, Song and Spirit Institute for Peace, Pine Congregational Church, Common Word Alliance, my friend Imam Arif Husik, Bosnian Imam, blue-eyed Muslim, is opening up a mosque in Hamtramck. This is also a popular up here in my YouTube channel. Unity Church, Buddhist Council of America, Methodist Church, Zoroastrian Association of Michigan, Rabbi Mark Miller, Temple Bethel, Rabbi David Kasba, Metro Family Church, the Unity, Reverend Moon, and North Congregational Church, Rabbi Dorite Dut, also very common on my channel. I've been working with her for years. Detroit Interfaith Outreach Network, St. John Episcopal, Religious Society of Friends, Hartford Memorial Baptist. I have them on my YouTube from an event we've done there. The Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, and Christ Church Cairnbrook. So we'll be starting any minute. People are wandering in. So hope everyone enjoys this and looking forward to see the imams to the right. First 3 rows are people officially participating in the program. I don't officially participate in Interfaith, as generally the more strict, Orthodox, it's forbidden to participate in Interfaith. Hopefully I'll do a stream on the history of Interfaith. Obviously my grandfather's grandfather participated in possibly the most famous interfaith in the world history, which is the 1893 Chicago Parliament of World Religions. He was a rabbi for the Workmen's Circle in Chicago, where the famous World's Fair of 1893 was, and he was one of the speakers for Judaism, where Vivekananda famously spoke, and many others. And I'd like to do a stream going over that, but people are piling in. These are probably the Mormons, Church of Latter-day Saints. Okay, so hope everyone enjoys. I probably won't be talking once they start. Rabbi Dorit, there in the purple, the rainbow tallis there. I've been working together with her for years. Her father was a translator at the Nuremberg trials. Okay, thanks for joining me, Rune. Yeah, this is the mosque, Islamic House of Wisdom in Dearborn, Michigan. It's not the biggest mosque in Michigan, but opened a few years ago. I think it's largely Iraqi. As you can tell by the white turbans, they are not directly, usually the black turbans signify people are direct descendants of the Prophet Muhammad. So the white turbans are, generic imams. So this, I believe, is a Sunni mosque. But Rabbi Elahi, who will be speaking later, is a frequent guest on Sean Hannity, Fox News, and news programs, and he's relatively pro-Jewish. He's been on my YouTube channel a few times, and coming to interfaiths and speaking on behalf of peace and interfaith. The kids choir at the end, they'll sing that song "Children of the World," that is the cover of my YouTube channel. Anyone sees my YouTube, that when it was 2 years ago at the temple where I had my bar mitzvah, Temple Bethel, that's the cover of my YouTube channel. I met with the man in the tie next to the imams. He's the Bosnian imam, and I'd met with him a few times. He actually watched my video on speed reading, and he'll be doing a prayer soon. So the imam straight in front of me, that's Imam Elahi. Straight in front of me, the woman to his right is Gail Katz from Temple Bethel, one of the organizers of this. Majority clergy here. A lot of these interfaiths are a majority clergy, so the people in the audience are your friends or family of the participating clergy or members of the mosque here that is hosting it. If it goes well, hopefully I'll be able to do some interviews afterwards. I've been working with a lot of these people for years, so a lot of the clergy here I know. I've been doing these events for 5 years. Anyone who follows my YouTube page has seen a lot of these clergy before at different interfaith events. And, thank God we've grown. We've got probably one of the more prominent interfaiths in Metro Detroit. And it travels also, so we go to different places. So over the few years, this has been in some of the more famous, large, beautiful structures across the state. Across just Metro Detroit.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن عليا ولي الله. أشهد أن عليا ولي الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. حي على خير العمل. حي على خير العمل. الله أكبر، الله
is the greatest. God is the greatest. I bear witness that there's no God except God. I bear witness that there's no Lord except God. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. I bear witness that Ali is the vice regent of God. I bear witness that Ali is the vice regent of God. Hasten towards prayer. Hasten towards prayer. Hasten towards welfare. Hasten towards welfare. Hasten towards the best of things. Hasten towards the best of things. God is great. God is great. There's no Lord except God. There's no Lord except God. Ameen.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
This
Yes,
Imam
we are
Alahi,
all-
the one who's on Fox
That's
News.
the way we say it as Muslims, and I say it on behalf of the Christian community, Jewish communities, Muslim community, the Buddhists, the Hindus, other faith traditions in our gathering. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. We really feel so humbled and happy and honored to host this wonderful 20th of annual World Sabbath celebration. God bless his soul, Reverend Rod Reinhardt came to House of Wisdom over 20 years ago and told me about how the center of our faith system is peace and reconciliation. We are tired of the news of war and violence, and he said that he talked to the leader of Christ Church in Bloomfield to host the first World Sabbath Interfaith celebration and invited me to go there, and I went. 20 years since then. After a few years, he told me that he was going to Chicago. And years later, we heard that he left this land to meet with the Lord. But then he transferred this legacy to our sister Gail Katz, a lady of leadership and labor, lady of vision and hard work. And she knew how to continue this legacy and gain the goal of this movement. And we thank you and your team, Gail, and also the committee from Muslim community, Haji Jennifer, Dr. Mary, Haji Sabah, Brother Eid Alawan, Haji Sabah Bazzi. As a matter of fact, she sent me a message and apologized because she had an accident and couldn't make it. Said, sorry, I love to come, but because of accident, sick. We pray for fast recovery and healing for the Sabah. So I want to thank you and welcome you all, that right people in the right place, right time, and for right reason. My special thank for the children, the messenger of peace, the ambassadors of peace, that they are going to sing the song of let there be peace on this planet, and let it begin with me. The children of peace and love, the children of justice and generosity, the children of friendship and faith and forgiveness and reconciliation. They are telling us today that we don't want war anymore. That is a wonderful message from children who are challenged to change this world and make it a better place for everyone. No more war. We don't want more war anymore. That means that we don't want tyranny and terrorism anymore. We don't want oppression and injustice anymore. We don't want the concept of might is right anymore. We don't want the concept of the ends justify the means anymore. We don't want to have the stunning story of Istanbul embassy and Khashoggi anymore. We don't want to have Holocaust against Jews anymore. We don't want war crimes against Palestinians in Gaza anymore. We don't want genocide in Yemen, in Syria, in Afghanistan, and Iraq anymore. People need food and friendship. They need security and service. Whether they live in our neighborhood in Detroit or in DC, in Kabul, or in Cairo, in Beirut or Baghdad, in Syria or Sana'a or Africa or Venezuela, people are people and the same need. Unfortunately, 20th century, though was a century of science and civilization in physical form, was so much sickness and selfishness and insanity of massacre of more than 250 million human beings during major wars all over the world. And looks like still we have not learned a lesson that those wars don't make peace. If it is true that we have spent $7 trillion in wars in the Middle East, but look, still we don't have peace over there. If instead of $700 billion that our government spend for war and military every year, part of that money was spent for peace and reconciliation and education, we were in better situation. So the children are telling us today, we don't want no more war, no more arrogance and hypocrisy or racism and hatred and violence and bloodshed and barbarism anywhere in the world. And I'm sure that the children have the power to change this world if we support them, if we put our minds together and hearts together and hands together and help one another as human beings and responsible. Yes, we can change this world. إن تنصروا الله ينصركم ويثبت أقدامكم. I sincerely thank the ulama, the mashayikh, Rijal al-Din, the clergy community of all faith traditions for coming to this humble house of worship. I know we've been in mega churches and mega synagogues in the last 20 years, but this is the diversity that we also come to Dearborn and also to this simple and humble Islamic house of wisdom as we honor the soul of Reverend Rod Reinhardt and every individual brothers and sisters who have been part of this joyful, generous journey in the last 20 years. God bless you. Gail, please.
Well, welcome to the 20th Annual World Sabbath. As the chairperson of the World Sabbath, I will be calling up all the participants in our World Sabbath service. Please hold on to those colored squares of cloth that most of you found on your seats for the end of the World Sabbath service, when we will all sing together, "Let There Be Peace on Earth," and you will wave these cloths that represent our diversity. A special thank you to Asun Karimi for the Muslim call to prayer, the Shalshandu for the blowing of the conch shell, a Hindu tradition. Unfortunately, our young lady, Jocelyn Organ, who was supposed to blow the shofar, for some reason could not be here today. Please note the list of participants and their order for our World Sabbath celebration in your program. We will begin with the Song and Spirit Interfaith Choir, followed by Joe Kidd and Sheila Burke, honoring us with music in the Christian tradition. You will find short descriptions of the faith traditions represented in tonight's celebration in your program.
Begin with a prayer in the Muslim tradition. Arabic is equivalent in Hebrew. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hebrew, Shem Yah, Rahman, Rahamim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It means from the mouth of the Guru. If you've never sang or spoken the language before, which I'll bet most of you haven't, and you have the song sheet, it's far easier than most. way, but in English, you know.
Brothers and sisters, we are Joe Kidd and Sheila Berg. We've had the opportunity to, time to study and practice many of the faiths that are here with us today. One thing that we've learned is that all the saints, all the martyrs, all the prophets all have one thing in common, and that they're no longer here with us. Soon enough, we're going to follow them, and what we'd like to do right now is, in our Christian faith, call upon the Holy Spirit to have us remembered as soldiers in the army of mercy and peace. This is a song that we wrote. This is the first song Sheila and I have. We ran through the back door in the middle of the night. Didn't know what we ran for, through the snow and the ice. Headed straight for the border, just to keep warm, trying to find our mother in the middle of the storm. We entered the city just before dawn, singing, "Isn't it a pity something went wrong?" No time for hesitation, to say the least. We are soldiers in the army of mercy and peace.
Oh, we fell into a circle of imaginary friends, in line for a morsel, forgiveness of sins. Looked up from the tower as the clock struck 12 on the evening of power. Saint Mary's bells.
We are gathered at the table. We stand before the throne. We kneel at the altar on the battlefield alone. We will sing this song in harmony, and our numbers will increase. We are soldiers in the army of mercy and peace.
Oh, we cry when we're happy. We smile when we're in pain. We will all march together in the pouring eyes and rain. We are one. But the odds are in our favor. To be sure this work is done.
No more weapons of destruction. No more guns designed to kill. No more rules of mass instruction that annihilate free will. We will raise our hands in freedom, and our love will never cease. We are soldiers in the army of mercy and peace. We survive in a holocaust of treachery and deceit. We will fight no matter what the cost. We will not accept defeat. We are held in a higher hand, held to a higher truth, called to be a chosen man, no matter what we do. There's a light behind this curtain. There's a voice that calls our name. There's a future that is certain, breaking free from rusted chains. Now we drink from a common well, and our prayers have been received. We are soldiers in the army of mercy and peace. We are soldiers in the army of mercy and peace. Thank you, brothers and sisters. We're going to do one more short song. It's a title song from our record called Everybody Has a Purpose. We sing this song because we believe that everybody does have a purpose, and everybody in this house here has a purpose today. We all have the same purpose, it looks like, from the looks on your faces and the glow coming from your hearts. Everybody has a purpose to have and to hold. Everybody has a story that's never been told. Now I've got my reason for living, and I've got my heart on my sleeve, and I believe everybody has a feeling that rises above. Everybody has a passion secret to tell you, and I'm hiding nothing up my sleeve. You've got to believe, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 everybody has a purpose to have and to hold. Everybody has a story that's never been told. Now I've got my reasons for living, and I've got my heart on my sleeve, and I believe.
We would now like to welcome Urmila Sandhu's students for the worship through prayer in the Hindu tradition, followed by Zoe Shmeta for the Zoroastrian prayer for peace, and then we will hear music from the Amma Center in Ann Arbor.
Always speak the truth and do our duty. हमको मन की शक्ति देना भेदभाव अपने दिल से साफ कर सके भेदभाव अपने दिल से साफ कर सके दोस्तों से दूर हो तो माफ कर सके झूठ से बचे रहे सच कदम बढ़े झूठ से बचे रहे सच कदम बढ़े दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद को जय करे हमको मन की शक्ति देना मुश्किलें पड़े तो हम पे इतना कर्म कर मुश्किलें पड़े तो हम पे इतना कर्म कर साथ से तो धर्म का चले तो धर्म कर खुद पे हौसला रहे परे से ना डरे खुद पे हौसला
afternoon, everyone. My name is Zoe Mehta, and today I am representing the Zoroastrian Association of Michigan, and I will be reciting 3 essential prayers to the Zoroastrian faith. The first one I will be reciting is called Ashem Bahu. Ashem Bahu, Vaishte Mashti, Usta Asti, Usta Amai, Yat Dashai, Vaishtai Ashem. The short prayer, Ashem Bahu, focuses on Lord Ahura Mazda's finest gift, true happiness. Based on the word Asha, the prayer preaches divine law and order, truth, purity, righteousness, and freedom. Understanding and embodying these things will lead to true happiness. The next prayer I will be reciting is called Yeta Ahuverio. Yeta Ahuverio, Yeta Ratush, Vashat Chitacha, Vangevush, Tasda Marengo, Shotananam, Pangevush Mastai, Shatrem Chai, Ahurai, Ayem, Tare Gopyo, Tarat Vastarem. Ahunavar, more commonly known as Yeta Ahuverio, expands on the topic of divine law and order. It teaches us that the gifts of Ahumana, good mind, come to those who work in accordance to the will of Ahura Mazda, which includes the following the order of good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. The last prayer I will be reciting today is called Kerfe Most. Kerfe Most, Guna Guzar Ashnera Kunam, Ashahi Ravan, Dusharamra Ham Kerfe, Hama Vihane, Haftakeshwar Zameen, Zameen Pahana, Rud Durana, Korshid Bala, Bundehad Berisa, Asho Bederzi, Ata Jamyat Afrinami, Ashem Bahu, Vaiste Masti, Usta Asti, Usta Amai, Yat Ashai, Vaistai Ashem. The meaning of this prayer is centered around goodness. The goodness we perform must be universal. We ask for blessings of goodness from Ahura Mazda, not only for ourselves, but for those around us who are dedicating their lives to doing good. Thank you so much.
we've chosen the following song to represent our guru and mother, Amma. It's in call and response format, so if you're comfortable, we'd love to hear you sing along if possible. May the light of unity dawn in our minds.
May the light of unity dawn in our minds.
May the light of unity dawn in our minds.
May the light of unity dawn in our minds.
Every thought of understanding opens our hearts.
Every thought of understanding opens our hearts.
Only love is our guiding light.
Only love is our guiding light.
Only love can heal and unite.
Only love can heal and unite.
May the walls of separation vanish in our love.
May the walls of separation vanish in our love.
Every word of kindness brightens up the dark.
Every word of kindness brightens up the dark.
Only love is our guiding light.
Only love is our guiding light.
Only love can heal and unite.
Only love can heal and unite.
May forgiveness and compassion grow in all we do.
May forgiveness and compassion grow in all we do.
Every deed of goodness leads the way to peace.
Every deed of goodness leads the way to peace.
Only love is our guiding light.
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 Only love can heal and unite.
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 Only love,
Is our light
only love
can unite.
only love
Shine
shines.
so bright
Only love,
and endless night.
only love
Is our light
only love
can unite.
only love
Shine
shines.
so bright,
Only love
broken and endless night.
may the light of To conclude, we'd like to do the Loka mantra 9 times. This is our prayer for peace and prosperity and happiness to all beings. Om Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
We will now celebrate with music in the Baha'i tradition by Bob Schneeweiss and the Baha'i Youth Choir, followed by the Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints Youth Choir, and then worship through song in the Jain tradition by our wonderful Jain students. Enjoy. We now welcome Imam Alahi, who will present. Oh, I forgot the date.
Jainendra friends. We use Jainendra to greet others in the Jain temple. We will now recite Nokar Mantra. Nokar Mantra is a Bhav mantra, a very important mantra in Jainism. The salutations are offered to the Panch Brahmastis, They are Orientals, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyas, Sadhus, and Sattvis.
Every morning and night, we recite the sutra to remember and respect the five supreme beings. They are the Panch Praneshtis.
By reciting this mantra, all our sins and misery go away. Jain believes karma particles are attracted to the soul by the actions of that soul. According to the Jain karma theory, karmas are categorized into Gatya karma, that is harming karma, and Agatya karma, that is non-harming karma. Each further is divided into 4 types.
The harming karmas, that is Gatya karmas, directly affect the soul powers by impeding perception, knowledge, and energy, and also brings about delusion.
These harming karmas are darshanranya karma, perception obscuring karma, jnanranya karma, knowledge obscuring karma, antaraya karma, obstacles creating karma, and mohanya karma, deluding karma. The non-harming category of gati karmas is responsible for the reborn soul, physical or mental circumstances, that is nama karma, longevity, that is ayas karma, and spiritual potential, that is gotra karma, and experience of pleasant and unpleasant sensations, that is vidanya karma. Ditsy karmas
Panch Praneshtis, Arihantas, Siddhas, Acharyas, Upadhyas, Sadhus and Santris.
Okay, now we welcome Imam Elahi, who will present this year's World Sabbath Peace Award to the Song and Spirit Institute for Peace. So we welcome Steve Claper, Mary Gahuli, Brother Al Mashia, and Greg Allen up here to the stage.
As our guests are coming to the stage, I'd like to welcome Brother Sam Beidon, is the representative of Maine County. Any other Sam is there, please? Thank you very much. Thank you, very welcome. Any public official, please? Yes. Dearborn High City Council, very welcome. Any other officials from City Council, Dearborn Heights, please introduce yourself.
Mayor Pro Tem Huntington Woods, Michigan.
Mayor, thank you. Thank you. Everybody is guest, everybody is host. This is your house. Thank you for coming. So as Gail told you, we are presenting this award to the Song and Spirit Institute for Peace, the co-founder, Brother Al Bashir, OFM, Hassan Steve Kleber, Mary Gahuli, and Outreach Coordinator Greg Allen. Build a spiritual interfaith community that prays, sings, studies, creates, and serves together in the spirit of shalom, salam in Arabic, and verse embracing the truth that there will be no peace in the world until there is peace between the world religion.
We could each make a little speech, but we're not going to. I'd like to. We are song and spirits, perhaps we'll just do the song. We come together to bring people of different faith traditions together in creative service. We are the hands of God. All of you, all of us, are the hands of God. We are the way that God works in this world. The only way God can work in this world is through us. So we're honored to accept this award, peacemakers, but I look out here and I see peacemakers everywhere we look. Your song instruments,
Okay, we are now honored to hear 3 members of the Temple Bethel Youth Choir, led by Samantha Jar, and they will be singing Ose Shalom, a prayer for peace. I would now like to invite Ari Puskik from the Common Word Alliance in Hamtramck to lead the clergy and religious leaders in reciting the Interfaith Pledge, which will be the commitment to be resilient, which is in your program and was put together by the Interfaith Leadership Council. Would the clergy and religious leaders come on up and join us? The clergy and religious leaders who RSVP'd in time are listed in your program this evening.
Thank you, Sister Gail. That's such a beautiful event. Thank you all for coming. Until we clergy gather ourselves together, please give yourself applause and for our clergy for being here with you all. Dear Sister Gail Kietz, thank you and the World Sabbath Committee and Imam Elahi for selecting myself to lead clergy in this prayer and to be here among you. That's honor. And I like to let you know all that I'm now currently student of Our Faiths with Our Faith Seminar International in New York, and my graduation will be in June 15, God willing, to be Minister of Our Faiths. So, honor to begin from here. Get closer to each other, please. Let's get closer to each other. Ready? Such a beautiful mass, and I'm very nervous among all of you to read all the clergy. That is not easy. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. I believe that we are called to lift each other up. That we are the community each day. Thank you. Thank you all.
I would now like to invite Sister Saba Bedun from the Islamic House of Wisdom to lead us in the responsive prayer for peace that you will find in your program. Please respond with Shalom, Salam, Shanti, peace.
Good evening, everyone. Shalom, salam, shanti, peace. I hope I got it right. Great. Make us people of compassion, so that we and all children may look upon one another with mercy and love. Help us all to look for the good in each other. Shalom. Sustain those who pray for the food and basic necessities and who worry about feeding their loved ones. Give strength to all children who need not only a home, but a place to belong and to be loved. Work with all travelers, with those who seek refuge from persecution and pain. Be with children separated from family and from the land they call home. Help us to be companions to one another, offering hope, help along unfamiliar paths. Make goodness known through the works of our hands and hearts, and let blessings rest on all whose lives are dedicated to bringing peace and well-being to the children of the world and all creation. May peace be upon you.
I now invite Imam Alahi to pass the World Sabbath Peace Banner on to Reverend Dr. Mary Vedran from North Congregational Church in Farmington Hills, where the 21st World Sabbath will be held next year, March 1st, 2020, and no snow. Following this, Imam Alahi will share a few words with you as the offertory baskets are passed around. We appreciate any donations you make, which will help offset the cost of the World Sabbath. And if you want to write out a check, it should be made out to the Interfaith Leadership Council. Thank you.
Hopefully so far wonderful, and I didn't bribe Gil to bring me 4 or 5 times on the stage. I think this is just the protocol of the program. You know, it was just like yesterday, Reverend Mary, last year in Christchurch, that Reverend Dr. Danaher asked me the plan of peace or flag of peace. And it's wonderful that we kept this trust for 1 year, and now we pass this flag to Reverend Mary. And flag is a sign, actually. The real peace starts from our heart and between us and our Lord, with the people, with the planet. And we know that God is Rabbus Salam. He is the Lord of peace. And paradise is a place of peace. So the origin was peace, and the end is peace. And the Quran quotes Jesus that he said, "May peace be upon me when I was born, when I live, and when I die." So it's all about peace. And then Jesus and then Mary. It's just a nice coincidence that Mary actually is a very popular name in Muslim community. Your name is mentioned in the Quran 25 times, Mary. Mary, the mom of Jesus. And so many Muslim girls are called Mary. Dr. Mary is part of this committee, actually. And Mary is the only female name mentioned in the Quran. It's amazing. Not one time or two times, 25 times. And your chapter, Mary, is chapter 19 in the Quran with 98 verses. It's just amazing that the holy lady in Christianity is Mary, and the holy lady in Islam, Fatima, the daughter of the Holy Prophet. And of course, there are 6 names, male names, also very popular among Muslims. Abraham, Moses, you say Musa, Jesus, in Arabic, Isa, Muhammad, Ali, and Hussein. These 6 male names, very, very popular. But Maryam, among the female, we were thinking that if we had another girl, we called her Maryam, but we stopped, so we are not going to have more children. So, but I'm saying that so much gravity in the name of Mary, and in this case, Reverend Dr. Mary Bidra, and you are going to receive this trust, and next year, with God's grace, we get together in your congregation church in Farmington Hills, and that is that we kept this trust in a safe place at the House of Wisdom for the last year. I don't know how anybody can help me to, oh, looks like it's not connected, I can take it, right? Okay, then in this case, we pass these flags to Reverend Mary Pedro. Congratulations, we wish you the blessing and grace to host us next year. This time we say, Inshallah, God willing. Thank you very much.
I will do my best to live up to the honor of my name, and North Church will definitely do our best to live up to the honor of having all of you as our guests at the World Sabbath next year.
Very good, thank you. Very brief, very beautiful, right? We imams, we need to learn from the rabbis and the reverend how to be brief, right? And powerful. It takes so much proficiency to go to that, part. Very good, thank you very much. So now I think that there's going to be some donation, and that donation doesn't go to House of Wisdom, so by the way. It goes to World Sabbath. So I'm not advertising for House of Wisdom. Be generous. As a matter of fact, today we had a funeral somewhere else, and I spoke in the funeral. And there was a gentleman that he came and he spoke very well. And he said he was a businessman from California. And at the end, we started having a very friendly conversation. I said, why you don't give some zakat to the mosque? He said, I'm Christian. Zakat is for Muslims. I said, but you're a charity. Is it just different names? That we had all these beautiful boys and girls. They were talking about God, Creator, or just different languages and different songs and different words. But all they are praising the Lord. Whether we call him Allah or Jehovah, Father, Maker, Ahura Mazda as Zoroastrian, and in every faith tradition, Buddhist, Hindus, and others, And this is why beautiful that we celebrate these similarities. And we appreciate the differences that we have. This diversity is so dynamic. But we are not fighting and killing each other because we are saying it in different ways. But this is what is going on in different parts of the world. Just because they don't get together and they don't have patience to listen to one another and learn from one another. What is wrong with the things that we have today? We are talking about piety, about patience, about prayer, about humbleness, about unity, about brotherhood, about love, about compassion, connection with God. All of this, these are values, these are principles that recognize in Abrahamic faith, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, and other faith traditions. So that is wonderful that we get together. It's the first time in Dearborn area, and the first time in the mosque, and hopefully we would have more involvement from Muslim kids in years to come to get involved, especially with proficiency of Steve. You did a wonderful, wonderful job. Very good, very good. Thank you very much. You and your team. So, this gentleman, I told him that, okay, you said you are Christian. Do you know that who delivered the Sermon on the Mount is about peace, right? Peacemaker and wonderful. That's one of my favorite, the Sermon on the Mount. He said, I don't know. I said, it's just like many Muslims, they don't know about the Quran on the Mount of Hara, right? It's the same thing. You know that Jesus made that Sermon on the Mount. Then I said that, now Charity, have you read Matthew? The chapter 19, in Matthew, that the guy came to Jesus and he said that, teacher, teach me how to be perfect. And by the way, this is one of the most favorite verse in the Bible that I really like it when it comes to the subject of charity here. And Jesus told him that you want to be perfect, practice 10 commandments. He said, I already done that. I mean, I'm looking for something. You know how sometimes people are arrogant? Something new. I mean, 10 commandments, everybody knows about 10 commandments. Jesus said, okay, now if you are ready, really so serious, you want to be perfect, go and sell everything that you have and give the money to the poor. And the guy was like, maybe billionaire of that time, very rich. He just looked at Jesus and very slowly disappeared, like he just stayed away. And at that time, Jesus said that, you know, it's easier for a camel to go through a needle, right? A needle eye, than a greedy person go through the kingdom of God, to the garden of God. This Christian guy this morning, he said, Imam, now you gave me a huge lecture. I give to the mosque $5,000. Can you? Really, he said that. He said, just send me your email. I'm going to California. I don't have my checkbook, but I'm going to send $5,000 to the mosque. Well, I don't know now, but you know, let's trust this gentleman. I mean, there is no reason for him to lie, right? But now, tonight, I'm not asking anybody $5,000 for the House of Wisdom. Just if there are baskets, I know the baskets are everywhere, right? Just to donate and give money for the World Sabbath. So we continue this celebration in years to come. But if you ever this year would like to help Islamic House of Wisdom, remember this date, April 25, which is Thursday. We are going to have a wonderful dinner in this facility, banquet hall and conference center Beluga is called. It's a new one, very beautiful on the corner of Warren and Telegraph. Please join us. We are going to honor and give an award to the president of World Federation, Family Federation. Is coming from New York. So that is a beautiful night to get together and spend some time and we support the services of House of Wisdom. That Interfaith is really one of the main services and interest and passion of Islamic House of Wisdom. So are we done with the basket or we are still? You already did it, because I was looking to see the baskets now, right? Okay, thank you very much. God bless you. You know, last year we promised to have some Lebanese hummus for you. We are practicing our what we promised. So we have some sandwiches, some are falafel, like vegetarian, and some chicken sandwich, and some other stuff that please you help yourself. I see Hajja Nawal, she is the president of Universal Academy, that she has over 3,000-4,000 students from the community that without racism and without discrimination, they are learning in her educational facilities, and they had a wonderful conference yesterday. I heard Dr. Sarah is telling me that they are going to have a prayer for peace between India and Pakistan. And by the way, when Ben Salman, the king, went to Pakistan and India, all of a sudden tension started. Looks like money creates problem. You see that just money makes like war and mischief all over the world. So, and nobody talks about Khashoggi or anything because the guy has money, right? He is welcome in India, he is welcome in Pakistan, he is welcome in China, he is welcome in Russia, he is welcome in the United States because just money. And this is why we need morality, we need humanity, we need faith, we need God. And this is what this gathering is about. Okay?
All right, and now for my favorite part of the World Sabbath. All right, the Children of Peace are here. I'm going to call up Hazan Steve Claper and Bob Schneeweiss to lead them in the song called We Are Children of Peace, a song found in your program. So Children of Peace, when you are done, I want you to stay up here. You can stand or you can sit down on the floor, but don't go back to your seats yet when you're done. down right here. Thank you. All right, I have some very special thank yous to say tonight. I would like to say thank you to the World Sabbath Committee, who put in long hours making sure that this event came together tonight. I have truly enjoyed working with all of you. Would my wonderful committee please stand up? We also honor the memory of Gwen Glove, a former member of the World Sabbath Committee who recently passed away, and she will be sorely missed. I would like to thank all the clergy and religious leaders who have joined us here at the Islamic House of Wisdom for your help in making the World Sabbath an incredible interfaith happening. I also understand that we are honored to have some dignitaries here tonight, and I thank you all for coming as well. I would like to extend my personal thank you to everyone here at the Islamic House of Wisdom for their generosity in offering us their house of worship for the 2019 World Sabbath venue, for their help in coordinating our interfaith service, our Children of Peace, our musical selections, and our afterglow. A thank you to the Right Stuff for the production of our World Sabbath programs, Save the Date flyers. We also thank the Interfaith Leadership Council for their support, and Home Depot in Pontiac for their wonderful gift of the sticks for all of these peace banners. A big thank you to all of our World Sabbath participants who have given us not only their time and energy today in the deliverance of their prayers and songs for world peace, but who have given us hope that our young people of different faith traditions can connect with each other, work together as interfaith heroes to make Metro Detroit a community of mutual respect. I would now like to ask the Children of Peace to stand up and wave those peace banners. All right, these children have come here tonight from various organizations and religious schools around Metro Detroit to share with us their ideas of world peace that are displayed on those peace banners. And back in the day, we took those peace banners and we made quilts out of them. So we have about 5 or 6 of those quilts. The woman who put them together, unfortunately, has passed away. I would like to say a special thank you to all of you, Children of Peace, from Jewish, Muslim, Christian, Baha'i, Hindu, Zoroastrian, Jain, and Buddhist faith traditions. Not listed in your program are the Children of Peace from Unity of Royal Oak, the Buddhist community, and St. John's Episcopal Church in Royal Oak. These children from our city and our suburbs put their creative energies into the making of the peace banners that they are waving. Children, you are our hope for that world of peace, tolerance, and respect in our future. I would also like all of your parents to stand because they are the ones that have taken the time to make sure you came to the Islamic House of Wisdom. Can now sit down. I would like to conclude by giving a warm welcome to all of you who came together tonight to participate in our 20th, I can't believe it's been 20 years, 20th Annual World Sabbath. We must remind ourselves that our patriarch heritage is a strength, not a weakness. We are shaped by every language, culture, and religion from every corner of this earth. And our common humanity must be the dominant factor in working toward a new era of peace. I believe we are all helping to usher in a new era of peace here today at this World Sabbath service. So we're going to join in the singing of Let There Be Peace on Earth, led by Hazan Steve Claper. The words are in your program. So I'm going to ask you to wave the napkins, the colored napkins found on your seats. And the Children of Peace will stand and wave their flags. And Imam, did you want to say something after? All right, one quick announcement.
Miguel, and we are living with the message of peace, message of hope, message of love, message of understanding, message of justice, unity and brotherhood. And together we stand against hatred, against racism, discrimination, prejudice, warmongering, oppression and injustice anywhere in the world. Announcement is from Sister Mary, Dr. Mary, that March 24th, here in Dearborn, Sacred Heart Church, there will be an interfaith seminar. What does Quran say about Mary and Jesus? That is a conference that Muslim clergy and Christian clergy attend to talk about this very, very important subject. As I said, there is going to be a prayer for peace, and Dr. Sarah should let us know that when is the time for that and how you want to handle that. If it is very short, you want to do the prayer before we leave the hall, right? Okay.
Okay, let's sing. We now invite you to join us in the reception hall for our afterglow in a minute. Wait, the Children of Peace are going to go first. They get the treats first. Peggy Westman from Pine Hill Congregational Church will be leading the recessional with music from her flute. Please let the Children of Peace recess first with members of the World Sabbath Committee, followed by all the participants who gave prayers for peace and shared the music connected with their faith. And finally, our clergy and religious leaders, and then we invite the rest of you to go out either of these doors over here. And on the way out, please recycle your napkins. We want to use them for next year. I will iron them before next year. And if you're not going to keep your program, please, there are boxes for your programs as well. And there is a website on the back of the program where you can sign up for the Interfaith Leadership Council newsletter. So parents, you can pick your children up in the reception hall. Their coats are upstairs in the classroom where they came in the beginning. We look forward to seeing you all again for the 21st Annual World Sabbath. Shalom, salam, shanti, and peace.
Okay, thanks for joining me. It was our Interfaith mostly music. Been working together with many of these congregations for years. My training, I'm not actually allowed to formally participate in anything like this, but support the general message and glad, proud to work together with these people from various traditions. I'm not sure if I'll have time for interviews or if I have the technology. We get a little boomer tech, like the waiting time between, could have been better production, but nice event. There's actually an event in another mosque this week, a Jewish Islamic event. I'm not sure if I'll be live streaming it. There you go. Yeah.